I've been looking forward to the Lord of the Rings adventure card game for a long time. If you're familiar with the channel, you'll know that I love single-player card games. Slay the Spire and the Hearthstone solo expansions offer a polished world full of fun mechanics and great replayability. But there is one thing that those games don't have, and it's my personal holy grail of card games. Co-op multiplayer.
I was there 3,000 years ago.
In the late 2000s, then relatively small publisher Fantasy Flight Games had success with a few card games using the new, consumer-friendly, living card game business model. Call of Cthulhu, Game of Thrones, and Warhammer Invasion featured not only competitive 1v1, but multiplayer variants too. 2011's Lord of the Rings LCG was their first foray into a solo and co-op card game, and it was brilliant. Scenes from the books and movies were recreated with sleek mechanics, and all your favourite characters were there. All the fun of a co-op board game with the added depth and complexity of deck construction. As great as the game was, it would pale in comparison to FFG's second crack at co-op, 2016's Arkham Horror: The Card Game. Modern design, updated mechanics, and an even tighter focus on immersing players in this wretched Lovecraftian world. Arkham Horror might just be my favourite card game, and with the 2019 release of Marvel Champions, which also features co-op play, Fantasy Flight has all the experience needed to make great multiplayer games. Unfortunately, I think they dropped the ball with this digital release of Lord of the Rings. So, to play the game, you're going to need a deck. Each deck is made up of 3 heroes which belong to one of 4 spheres, like colours in Magic. You then make a 30 card deck, but can only include cards from the spheres of heroes that you've included. Purple is leadership and features resource ramp and great allies. Green is lore, which has excellent support and healing. The blue spirit cards have threat reduction and fantastic attachments. Lastly, red is tactics and features very fighty lads and ways to make them fightier. There are also more powerful cards that require multiple of the same colour of hero in order to be included in your deck, though in my experience they don't make up for the strength of diversity that you get for including multiple colours of heroes. Heroes and allies have 3 stats: a fighty value for fighting, a fatey value for dealing with hazards and charging the fate meter, and health. Your fate meter can be spent on various one-time effects, many of which are flavourfully tied to the quest at hand. You're probably getting a pretty good idea of what the typical game of Lord of the Rings looks like by now. The game throws out some fires, sometimes literally, you bash your team into various enemies or hazards, use some fate to summon a wizard or something, and try to make it home for second breakfast before the doomsday clock strikes midnight. Campaigns are divided into 5 quests and have multiple difficulties, but the reward system is where I start to get a bit concerned. You get rewards for the first, second, third, and 4th time you complete a quest, each challenge you complete during that quest, and completing the quest with each hero. And that's for each individual quest. Look, I'm not sure if this counts as replayability, but it sure does feel tedious. And yes, each hero does bring something different to the game, but the good cards are still good, and it sometimes feels like you have to go out of your way to play bad cards in order to get a different experience. The whole point of completing these objectives is to gain Fellowship Zuckerbucks, which can be used to buy new cards, though honestly, the base cards and some of the quest rewards are really all you'll need, with some exceptions. But the co-op multiplayer saves it, right? Didn't I say something about the holy grail of card games? It's your turn.
No, I had travel, so
Oh.
it says waiting for you.
Well, I can't do anything. Oh, no.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I could hit the end phase button, even though there were actions that I could do, and it didn't let me travel. And the end phase button was also blanked out.
Oh wait, so we didn't get to travel?
No.
Because
That's
of
fucked.
yeah.
Trying to get this game to run in multiplayer feels like every LAN party I went to in my teens. You mess around with it for too long, it crashes, and then you go play Age of Empires instead. So, can I recommend the Lord of the Rings adventure card game? Not really, or at least not now. I would consider revisiting the game if a greater variety of quests or some kind of endless mode were available. Multiplayer is finicky at best, replaying the quests feels tedious, and the game feels unpolished and buggy. Speaking of bugs, why can't I take the guard action?
A red sun rises!
Why is he shooting the ice? Why do these look like placeholder graphics? What is this card doing? I've never seen protect before, so if I hover over the, if I just hover over the text, it'll tell me what,
This is the first time that even a mouse has crept along under my very nose and not been spotted.
Alright, dude. What did they say? Why is this so big? Ah, this thing has protect too. Maybe we can take a look at, alright, one more try. Maybe it's not working for anything. Oh, well, it works for arrival, but I guess we'll never know.